It is possible to bicycle through winter in conditions such as these. Right now we have about 10 centimeters of freshly fallen snow on the ground, and the temperature is about -1 degree Celsius or about 30 degrees Fahrenheit. In this video I want to share with you a little bit about what makes it work and what makes it worth to bicycle through winter. So let's start with the why a little bit. 1. It keeps you fit. It's good exercise. 2. It sure beats walking. 3. It sure beats waiting for the bus for hours and shivering, because cycling generates enough body heat to keep you warm. And 4. It sure beats risking potential damage to your vehicle, denting your own vehicle, being stuck in a ditch, then you need a tow truck, or you damage other vehicles and then you have to pay for the damages. It's expensive. If you're really stuck in snow with a bicycle, just put it on your shoulder and walk a little bit. So I find the risks fairly manageable. Right now, what's important with the snow to make it work is that there is no ice underneath. If there is an ice layer underneath, you're gonna need studded tires. But right now, I'm just using Continental's Tour Ride model 32mm wide tire with a little bit of groove on it. Nothing special. So exactly the same thing that I used throughout the winter for commuting in rain. And now we have snow. It works well enough. The tire cuts through the deep snow, and underneath the snow there is pavement and there is traction on it because there's no ice, so that's important. When vehicles' wheel prints compact the snow, that's where it's slippery. Okay, so the front washes out, the rear wheel spins. So let me show you how that looks like. I'm trying to maybe not wipe out, but I'll show you how it looks like going in a snow a little bit. Just a little bit. So, same bicycle, and I'm going to talk about my clip-on shoes a little bit. They, yeah, just a second. There, so a little bit of a struggle, like I said, not record-breaking speeds, 10, 12, maybe 15 kilometers an hour. Once you get going with the momentum, because I have like 10 meters here that I cycle that way, and then instead of taking a sharp turn and wiping out with the front end, just turned around. So I can make it work, and I can make it worth. Especially in a straight line with no limitations of space like this. Going in a straight line, it's easier, but again, go slowly, so when you have to put your foot down, you can. So let's start with the gear. The tire has its own review. In terms of gear, what I need to keep me warm is fairly straightforward. Alpinestars gloves, motorcycle gloves, full fingers, no cutty fingers, okay? And this is exactly what I wear. By the way, everything that I have on is what I wear in winter rains, because most of the time here in the Pacific Northwest it rains and winter storms come, so it's often windy, so cold, rain and wind. So full review, Alpinestars, motorcycle gloves coming up later. It has some knuckle guard on it, but no mesh. But otherwise synthetic material. I'm just gonna take my Bontrager high-vis helmet off. It doesn't help with the snow. It's just on me. Same with this traffic vest, just for visibility. What does help with the weather quite a bit is this StormTech, maybe not rain jacket, but somewhat, maybe it's a wind jacket. Not fully waterproof, but it's enough to shed most of the water off. I only have to cycle for commuting total of 17 kilometers, and that's both ways, so 8.5 and 8.5, and it works fantastically well even in Pacific Northwest size rainstorms here, where we have about 1200 millimeters of rain, about, I don't know, 40 inches of rain in a year. That's a lot. This is another layer, another StormTech garment, full review coming up later. Bonded microfleece on the inside, some kind of water repellent layer on the outside. Works fantastically well. Not fully waterproof either, because I want the garments to be shedding heat and vapor and allowing me to cool and keep cycling and generating heat. They work fantastically well for me. For shirt or t-shirt, I wear this item from the Adidas store, and it has a mesh back on it, which is something runners wear, or that's how it's marketed. Again, on my back for shedding heat and moisture. My cycling shorts are Gore Bike Wear, fairly straightforward, stretchy materials and long, come down almost to the knee. This is a Bontrager knee warmer, which is also bonded 2-layer, but not especially thick either. In terms of socks, I have very, very plain, thin socks. They work for me, okay? If they don't work for you, whatever. But what works for me, very thin socks. And this is what normal people wear for formal, like a suit and tie for formal wear with a nice pair of shoes. So I wear the same stuff for socks. And my shoes, like I said, Bontrager shoes. And I use the Shimano clips on it with a clippy pedal. But in snow like this, where I know I have to turn, put my foot down, and maybe unexpectedly or in a hurry, I don't clip my shoes into the pedal, but I keep the clippy shoes on because I want to be able to pull with the pedal, because often when I just push with the pedal, the rear wheel spins and nothing happens, and I have to get some traction to get going. So that's what you saw there when I turned around. So these are some of the things that make bicycling work in the winter. I like it. You know, it may not be for you, but it's possible to make it work, and for the benefits of fitness, avoiding damage, expensive damage to a car. You know, I never had a fall. I often have to put my feet down, but never had a wipeout in conditions like these. Had wipeouts on sheet ice, but that's a completely different story. That was sheet ice with no snow. So these actually easier and safer and more predictable to navigate these conditions than on sheet ice that's in patches or whatever, and you don't know where they are. So I keep cycling. Maybe you want to do the same.